Welcome back to the video, guys. My name is Everletcher, and today we are going to be breaking down the dying game that just never dies, Pixel Gun 3D. This video might be titled Dear Developers, it might be titled something about the game lying to people, it might be titled about don't buy the slop in the game, I don't know, but it's going to be one of those kind of videos, and we're going to be going deep into the weeds when it comes to this game and the developers. Please stick around to the end. OG players, you're going to want to see this, and new players, if you're really getting into the game, you're going to want to see all of this too, because it's really interesting about how much the developers have actually hidden from everybody and what's actually going on behind the scenes. So with that out of the way, Jesus loves every single one of you. Let's stop wasting time and let's hop right into it. So first of all, let's come to the store. We have a brand new event. We have your Pixel Echo set, and I have nothing against Echo Soldier. I just find it really surprising that the guy makes a video talking about how he's not going to be playing the game much. It's not very fun. He doesn't want to upload it. And then in response, the developers are like, oh, here's a set. Please, $15 for an operator and a skin and a pet. Please do not buy this. Support Echo Soldier. Go to his live streams, his things. Give him donations or whatever. If you want to support him that way. Don't support him this way, please. All you're doing is lining the pockets of these developers, and they will not reply to people. I am part of the partner program, so I'm one of these supported developers, probably not after this video. As of March 20th, 2024, on my channel, I have uploaded 6,831 total minutes of Pixel Gun 3D content. That comes down to 4,430 minutes of videos, 2,401 minutes of live streams, 113.84 hours total of content on my channel. That is nearly 5 days. I've been around for a while. I used to have great communication with the developers, and it was awesome back when they had a developer named Mel, the community manager named Mel, and he was incredible. Ever since he left, it has been absolutely impossible to have proper communication with the developers. All they're really doing is asking for content creators to, report players and then promote the game. So after I saw the Echo Soldier video, I sent one of the developers this question right here. Word for word, I'm not going to share screenshots just for privacy purposes, but I said, just a random question. Of course, the dev team has their own plans for the game, and I'm positive y'all have update plans relatively planned out for this foreseeable future. The question is, do the developers ever backtrack on their plans? Do they ever see community feedback and player count and decide, maybe this isn't the right decision, let's figure out something else? The reason why I say that is because these lobbies right here, you cannot find consistent full lobbies. These little buttons right here where it's showing Ants Life 4 out of 5 players, these are lying to you. These servers are not that active. Duels are dead. Half of these game modes are completely dead, and if you're lucky, they'll fill the lobby with bots. So guys, right here is a Steam player count. Right now, there's 1,487 players in the game. The last 24 hours, it peaked with just shy of 2,200 players. And on release, they had 25,000 players. And ever since release, you guys can see right here, it has just been dropping tremendously. This is PC. Of course, there's going to be more players playing on mobile, but it's definitely not a whole lot of players on mobile. You guys can tell that because the lobbies are never full. They can barely fill up a lobby for Battle Royale. Right here is Google Trends, and this is basically how much interaction this topic has on YouTube, specifically right here. Pixel Gun 3D right here is back in 2020, so this is going to be 5 years ago, 2020, and it peaked in 2020 at 100. But if we go back even further, you're going to see that that was not the peak. 2020 then becomes a little bit smaller. Actually, it's pretty high still. I don't know what this is. This is just some dead years right here, but we're going to go back over here to the last 5 years, and you guys can see the game is on almost the same exact downwards graph. Right here's where they released on PC, and it had a spike, and it immediately just started dropping down again. Now, the reason why I'm showing this is because the game is not active. The game is struggling to keep players. The game is struggling to bring in new players, and the developers in response just will not reply when it comes to, how are y'all going to fix this? Instead, they'd rather give you an event with a brand new pass that you have to pay for. The real question is, when did all of this change? Because the game used to not be this bad. The game used to have great communication, great updates, and everybody was playing the game and having a lot of fun. Let's get into that right now. So the Pixel Gun 3D game has gone through several different development teams or publishers, the original one being Really Soft. Right here we have on USPTO, which is an official United States trademark website. You have the trademark for Really Soft right here. All right, I fixed it. Now you guys should be able to see my mouse. Right here, you guys can see this is a dead registration. It's canceled or invalidated. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because come down here to current owners. It is by Gracevale Limited from Julia House, 1066 Nicosia Cyprus. Remember that. We're going to come back to that. So next up, we have the next big name, which everyone knows is Cubic Games. Now, I've gone over other development teams known as Pixel Gun Company, and I believe they were under the branding of D Games at one point in time. I can't remember exactly, but I do remember they did have a different one. I've tried going back and finding it, and I just can't find it. It's going to take me forever, but this one is actually still active for Cubic Games. You guys can see that right here. Live application under examination. Owner name, Games Studio, and you have this right here, which is the current development studio address for the development team. So now we're going to go through the different game names. Right here, we have Pixel Gun 3D, which is clearly the game name. This one is dead. It actually canceled, and it was canceled April 14th, 2023. Kind of weird because the game is still going on and it's past 2023. Owner name, Gracevale 1066 Nicosia Cyprus. Remember that. Next up, we have an active Pixel Gun 3D live registration issued and active by Cubic Games, and you go back to the previous address, which is now the current address, the one that we mentioned previously for Cubic Games. Here we have one for just simply Pixel Gun. Again, it is live application published for opposition. Cubic Games Studios, same address as the active one. And lastly, for all the Block City Wars fans, we have Pixel Gun Block City Wars. It is still active, published for opposition, Cubic Games Studios, so it's still under the same ownership, even though they told you that it's not, and it's the same address. Trust me, guys, it gets more interesting than this. This is the first example of the developers lying to you once again. Don't forget, they had a whole lot of other games. They had a racing game back in the day. They had a survival game as well, and those are just gone, brushed under the table. No one really knows what's happening. So now we're going to switch over to a different website. It's going to be just IA Trademarks. It's basically the same exact thing, just different layout, and we have Really Soft right here. Registration date, filing date, status date, all the good information right here. And once again, you scroll down, you're going to have Gracevale Limited once again. We've seen it before, we've seen it again. Gracevale Limited, Really Soft LLC, which is going to be the party name and the new party name right there. You scroll down right here, you have the trademark events. That's basically going to go to the history of this trademark. Next up we have is going to be an old screenshot from Block City Wars. This one was back in, if I can find the date, April 2nd, 2017 by D Games Apps. And you come over here, scroll down, you're going to have Julia House 1066, Nicosia 1066. So it's going to be the same one as the previous Pixel Gun 3D development team.
But Everletcher, what is Gracevale?
I'm so happy you asked. Gracevale Limited. This is going to be the website 24glo.com. I'm making sure I'm letting everybody know where I'm getting this information from because it is legit. It is all public information. This is a Russian website right here, as you guys can see right there. Cyprus Gracevale Limited. Name Gracevale Limited. It is still active to this day. You have Julia House 1066 Nicosia Cyprus. Sound familiar? We've seen it several times now. They've got all these really good certificates, so I'm not going to be telling you it's shady. However, I did have a Pixel Gun World developer way back in the day, I think it was 2017, tell me that a good reason why all these Russian developers keep changing names, it happens a lot, it's usually to avoid lawsuits. Just gonna put that out there, not making any accusations. So right here, we're gonna have Cadexo Limited. If that sounds familiar, that is the current development studio for Block City Wars. It is still active, and what do you know? Julia House 1066 Nicosia Cyprus. Same exact location. Now, I still haven't answered what exactly Gracevale is. It's basically just the mother company, or was the mother company. Now we have a new one. And right here, we have an article from Market Screener, which is basically just a stock market analysis website. If you don't care about the stock market, that's perfectly fine. We're going to change this to the week. This right here is going to be a chart for GDEV Inc. We'll get to GDEV Inc. in just a minute. But right here, you have Nexters GDEV Inc. Nexters Inc. agreed to acquire a 100% stake in Gracevale Limited for $70 million. I briefly talked about this in a previous video when I first came back, and we're going to get into deeper details on it right now. Nexters Inc. agreed to acquire 100% stake in Gracevale Limited for $70 million on January 25th, 2022. This was when the Pixel Gun 3D developers had a brand new development team. The acquisition will be financed by both cash on balance and newly issued equity. The deal includes an upfront consideration of 85% and deferred consideration subject to certain conditions. Had a whole lot of new shares put into this. Is a public stock. You guys can check it out on your own if you guys would like to. This graph right here is just for the previous week. It's actually not a week. It's supposed to be a week, but for some reason it's going further back. But if you guys do want to look into it more, they're basically plummeting at the same rate as the Pixel Gun 3D player count. They're not doing very do well. And they have a bunch of extra articles right here about the company. What is GDEV? Let's look into what GDEV is, which is the company, mother company of Nexters, is the little tag for it. Let's hop into that right now. I'm going to keep everything out and open, fully transparent, because the developers fail to do so. First and foremost, we have the Pixelgun 3D website. Let's scroll down just a little bit because they have briefly shown us that they are part of GDEV because, you know, they were bought by it. It was public information. Scroll down all the way to the bottom of their website. Come over here and let's see if I can find it again. Cubic Games, part of GDEV. So right there, that's them showing that they are part of this new team. Nothing wrong with that. And for further information, the light map, this is the current development team, the actual development team. If you want to refer to the development team, their name is Light Map. They are also part of GDEV. And if you want to see further proof that this is the Pixelgun 3D development team, come to games. You have Pixelgun 3D right here, right in your face, and scroll down if you want further proof. There's more information on it right here. And everybody knows that their favorite developer, Desperate Russian. Let's find the picture. Sorry, it's on the About page. You have Desperate Russian right there in the middle where my mouse is, the redhead chick. She's in the game. Everybody talks about her. A lot of people used to simp for her. So there you go. There's your proof. This is the Pixelgun 3D company right there. Back to their website. You have the overview for their website right here. They're very prideful in what they do. Nothing wrong with that. They have all their numbers for how much money they're making. Active users, we're going to get to that in just a little bit. This is not just for Pixelgun 3D, by the way. We're going to go to their About GDEV right here. This is where we're going to look into everything. So GDEV is a gaming and entertainment holdings company that oversees a portfolio of studios. GDEV's numbers right here. They've made $2.4 billion all time, 550 million installs all time, 7.5 million total subscribers on social media, about 1,000 employees, 14 million plus active monthly players. That's what you want to look at right here. This is the first dead sign that they are lying to everybody. And then lastly, you have 150 million ads shown every day. Now, this is across all their games, 14 million. This could be truthful, but I'm going to prove to you guys right now why they're lying. So right here underneath, you have a bunch of graphs that's breaking everything down. You have right here, USA, Europe, Asia, other, that's showing where their player base is. You have the platform breakdown, 38% is on PC, 62% is on mobile. Top titles right here. This is what you're going to want to look at. And let me get a calculator. So right here, you have Hero Wars Alliance takes up 53% of all their players. Hero Wars Dominion takes up 37%. Island Hoppers takes up 7%. And Pixelgun 3D at the very back by a long shot only takes up 3% of their active monthly player base. All right, guys, so I've got my trusty calculator right here. 3% of their total 14 million active players. Let's get into that right here. So what you got to do, if you want to do this math, if you didn't know how to do math, because a lot of y'all are a little delinquents, that's a joke, by the way, you put in 14 million. There you go, 14 million. Multiply that by 0.03, that's going to get you 3%, and you have 420,000. That would imply that Pixelgun 3D currently has 420,000 active monthly users, but 1,800 of them, so you can go ahead and take out 1,800. Let's just go ahead and round that up. It's going to be a little bit more than that, 4,000. Take 4,000 off of that. You're telling me they have 416,000 average monthly users on mobile alone, and they still cannot fill a lobby? They still have to fill your lobbies with bots? They can't fill a Battle Royale lobby? You're kidding me. Not a single soul believes that. That's the first sign that they're lying right here. Oh, but Everletcher, maybe they're not lying. Maybe you're just doing the math wrong. Trust me, the math's right. The math is pretty obvious. If you don't trust calculators, you can do a simple Google search, 3% of 14 million, and that will tell you 420,000. It's right. But there's more proof that you should not trust these developers, and we're going to show you that right now. So right here, we have another website. This one's just a random one that I just found about fake mobile game ads, and it's basically talk about why advertisers are using them. So right here, have you guys ever seen advertisements that look like this, or this, or that? How about this one, or this one, or this one? Have y'all guys seen any advertisements like that? Let's go back to the GDEV official website and keep scrolling down. They have their portfolio of games. So their first company is Nexters, and Nexters creates Hero Wars Alliance. Let's take a look at that. Oh, wow. That looks very familiar. It looks like those scams. Scroll down again, maybe it's not all that bad. Nexter's next game is Hero Wars Dominion. Let's take a look at it. Oh, again, another one of those scam ads. Okay, next one, Island Hoppers. Let's see it. What's next? Oh, wait, hold up. I've seen that before. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Cubic Games. Specializing in shooters and action, Cubic Games is renowned for expertise in shooters and action. Pixelgun 3D has achieved global success with 5 million monthly active users on mobile platforms. Hold up, 5 million monthly active users on mobile platforms? So you're telling me that you have 14 million active monthly users on all your games, and Pixelgun 3D makes up 3% of that? But 5 million is about over 33% of that 14 million player base right there. Y'all are lying. There's your second dead giveaway that they are lying about their average player base. By the way, they claim that they're going to be adding a VR to Pixelgun 3D. Go on some more. That's just the mobile version. You have the PC edition, which is the most sold on debut day, most played on debut day. Yep. There was 25,000, and look at that. It completely crashed right after. They barely made it a couple months in before they lost all their players. Next up, you have the development studio Royal Ark. They made Dawn of Zombies. I'm not sure if this one is another one of those scam ads. I do see it a whole lot, but given the portfolio of the rest of their games, then yeah, it's probably a scam as well. Idle Zombie Miner Gold Tycoon, which is just another one of those. They don't even show actual gameplay here because they're too embarrassed about how bad the game is. And then the last game they have is going to be Game Gears, and they specialize in hybrid casual games, but they refuse to actually show any of them whatsoever, which you come over here, like, I don't care about reading all of that. Pay attention closely. 2022, they achieved record high annual revenues. That was when they acquired Cubic Games for $70 million, and I'm not even sure how much they spent on these other scam teams, but they acquired them as well. And look forward again, you have 2024 Pixelgun 3D PC edition launched, and there you go right there. And apparently they had an official Tomb Raider collaboration, which I find that hard to believe, but I could be wrong. They may have actually had that. So the point of this was basically to go over the history of Pixelgun 3D jumping from company to company, showing that there is validity to what's going on with that it is not the original team that they used to have, and they have been acquired by this scumbag company called GDEV. They do have a new team under GDEV, which does include some of the old developers still. However, GDEV is a company that makes scam games that all they do is they fake what their advertisements are. What you see in the game's advertisements is not at all how the game performs at all. And just like Pixelgun 3D, they are littered with little microtransactions to make the game pay to win. So guys, please do not spend your money on this garbage nonsense right here. It looks like this right here, this used to be $10. I think it might have been $5 actually, and it's gone up to $20, and the $20 one that used to be $20 is now $50 because they're just getting so money hungry they can't make a profit whatsoever. The Pixelgun 3D developers refuse to acknowledge that the game is failing. They refuse to change their mindset on the direction of the game. They refuse to listen to the content creators about how to fix the game. They will actually ignore the content creators when they simply say, hey, do y'all ever backtrack on ideas to think, oh, maybe this was not a very good idea, like they did in the infamous 17.0 update, I do believe it was, when they completely ruined the game and a bunch of people got falsely banned. It just sounds like incompetence. And I said this in my original video when I talked about them getting bought, that there was not much hope for this game because of who the company was that bought them. I completely forgot that I said that, but fast forward however long it's been, I think it's been about a year, and the developers are still just as incompetent, and I really don't care if I get kicked off the partner program anymore because they don't reply anyways. I don't even think they've been holding up their end on most of these new sets anyways. I don't think they've given me half of anything that's came out. Not to mention it took them about 8 months just to fix my clan so we could do clan wars. Not sure what the deal is with that. I tried contacting support over and over and over again, and they have some incompetent chick who is trying to reply to me and just refusing to give me updates on anything. And I've had multiple bad experiences with the same woman that is a part of their support team. I can't remember her name, and I'm not going to name drop her. She's not in the Discord server or anything like that, so don't worry there. She's kind of a behind the scenes type of person. She's probably not even really associated with the development team. She's probably only associated with GDEV, which is that scumbag mother company. But to conclude this video, I'm not telling anybody to stop playing the game. If you enjoy the game, play it as much as you want. All I'm going to say is think twice about buying stuff like this that they intentionally kind of scam you on. I actually asked the developers, hey, why don't we stop doing the 2 weapon battle passes and go back to getting 3 or 4 weapons every single battle pass? The pass still has not gone down at all. It's still the same price as it's always been, and you're getting half the content that you used to in it. That's a scam, dude. That is a complete scam. So yes, if you guys do enjoy the game, please keep playing the game, enjoy the game, have fun on it. But again, think twice about spending money on ridiculous things like $15 for an operator and a skin and a useless pet. Again, no hate towards Echo Soldier whatsoever. I have nothing wrong with him, and I hope the best for him. If you want to buy this, please I mean, if you want the skin, go for the skin. I can't stop you from that. But if you want to support Echo Soldier instead of buying $15 for this, because I guarantee you he's not getting the whole $15, just go hop on one of his live streams, give him a super chat for $15. It's going to support him so much more than it would buying this piece of crap right here. I think I covered everything that I really wanted to talk about in this video. So if I did leave anything else, out, or if anybody has any other issues or complaints that they want to address, comment them down below. And let me know what you guys think about everything that I covered in this video. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, just smash the like button. And maybe the developers will see this and start rethinking their decisions and actually see if we can improve the game for once. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope you guys all have a very blessed day. Jesus loves every single one of you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.